Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today, I'm giving you a little bit of an update for an ongoing series that I have. And this is a little bit different than previous videos that you've seen. See, the world that I'm currently in is, as you can see, a hardcore world, but up until this point, it has been one that I have only done live on my Twitch streams, which, if you're not following me on my Twitch channel, you can check me out, as the link to my channel is in the description down below. I tend to do live streams about once a week on Fridays, though hopefully I can get to a point where I can do them a little bit more consistently, and I will give you updates as that comes along. But the premise of this hardcore world is in an area that's called the One Weapon Challenge. And the way that this series is working is that I am limiting myself to one weapon specifically. And in this iteration, it is the bow that I am limiting myself to. That is not the crossbow or any other type of projectile weapon, specifically the bow, like the one that you see that I have here. And the thing about the bow, or using the bow in this challenge is, well, it's probably one of the easier challenges you can do because a lot of it is reliant on, or a lot of combat that is required for actually beating the game is reliant on being able to use something from a projectile stance. There are a couple of things that are made difficult with that, but all things considered, this is, I think, an introductory level challenge. Now, with that in mind, you do want to keep in mind that there are a couple of allowances with this challenge. The first is, even though I'm limiting myself to only one weapon, in this case being the bow, that does not exclude my use of tools. So you will see that I allow myself to use a hoe, a pickaxe, which I don't currently have on me, and a shovel as well. But in terms of anything else, I am not allowed to use any other type of weapon. That does include limiting myself to not using axes. And that even includes what axes are generally used for, which is chopping down trees. That does mean, unfortunately, I will need to punch trees down by hand, but it is something that I will be refraining from using or not allowing myself to use at all. And that is because, well, it's something that we need to make sure that we're keeping tabs on. And that is because the axe, though it is considered a tool, it is also a very powerful weapon, especially when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. As well, as you're aware, an axe is actually more, it does more damage than a sword does. And for those purposes, we are excluding ourselves from using it. Now, a couple of things that I have done recently is you'll see that I do have myself a little cow crusher put together here that we will use to get ourselves some leather and other resources. And as you can see, we're doing quite well when it comes to that. I also have a similar setup for some sheep over here, but because I'm prioritizing cows at the moment, that's why I'm feeding them into that. So the sheep is not quite at capacity, but the cows most definitely are. And that's good because, yes, I do miss out on a bunch of the XP that could be gained from that, but it's a very efficient way of getting a leather early game. And as a caveat, that is something that can only be done on the Java edition version of Minecraft. But again, the hardcore edition is also something that's only available in the hardcore edition of, or the Java edition of Minecraft, I should say. So if this is a series that you are interested in watching or keeping tabs on, like I said, please feel free to check out my link to my Twitch channel down in the description of the video below. Now, let's just give you a kind of a brief walk around to catch you up on where I'm at. And this is the last update that you'll see from me, or should expect to see from me until the series has reasonably concluded. For all further updates, you'll want to make sure that you are following me over on my Twitch channel. But the last thing that I was wanting to do today before letting you go is we are going to go out and collect up some more andesite, and that will allow us to finish out the roof of the building that we've just made for our cow and sheep crusher So let's go ahead and collect the needed resources here. All right, so we've got ourselves a fair little selection of some andesite here. So let's go ahead and turn at least one stack of it into these stairs, because we're going to need that to put around the rim of our building here, similar to what we've seen, or similar to what we did on this roof. And one other thing that I do want to note about our little house that we've built here is I do have these doors placed, I guess you could say, backwards. Currently, even though they look closed, they're in the open position, and that is what's preventing this guy from pathfinding his way through the door. And that goes for zombies and such as well, as one of the quirks of hardcore, I think hard mode as well, but definitely hardcore Minecraft is that zombies can break down doors, which is can certainly be problematic. Let's make our way over here. You're not welcome up here, bud, because you're going to fall off and hurt yourself. I can guarantee it. Pretty sure that's all we had there. So let's dig up our little dirt scaffolding here. And it looks like I did have just some standard blocks on the inside here that we had to work with. But let's go ahead and put these stairs up. Oh, it looks like I had a couple in reserve there. But the next thing we're going to need are some of these slabs. So let's eat up real quick so we can actually run back over to our friendly neighborhood mason over here. Then let's use his work site to turn these into actual blocks. And then let's actually get a stack of the polished slabs as well, because I'm not sure how many more of these I'm going to need. Now, something I recently learned and had no idea of is you can actually craft andesite. And I believe it's by combining cobblestone with diorite in a 2x2 type formation grid. So that was certainly not what I had expected. But it's cool that that can be done as well. So let's go ahead and put some of these up. And actually, that one doesn't need to be there, because it's going to be occulted by this. Well, I guess that's a good indicator as any that the cow crusher is full and ready to be harvested again. But before we do that, we need to first, well, grab some extra wheat, because we're not going to have nearly enough. But also, we need to come back with some more of our andesite slabs to finish things out. Alright, this should most definitely be enough to finish out that roof. It's actually probably overkill. But never say I didn't come prepared this time. Alright, and then just in an effort to make the grinder house more consistent with our main base, let's go ahead and add some more walls to the top there, change up the entry here. Do I have? I do have 4. It's actually stairs we're looking for. Do I have granite stairs? I don't. I have a bunch of granite slabs though, because that's what we run around the outside. We'll do the detailing on that a little bit later. So we'll fix things up for, well, we'll probably do that on our next live stream. But now the upper portion of this cow crusher has been done, or the cow and sheep crusher. The last thing that we'll do is put a door on the building. We already have 1 door, so we'll have a few left over after this. And we'll just kind of walk you through how to put up those doors in the protecting way to make sure that no mobs accidentally find their way in here. There it is. Right like that. So this way, the doors are open, or they're closed. But they are in reality open. So here they are open when they appear to be closed, and you can tell because they on the inside stick out a little bit like this. So if we come back and reconfirm that, you'll see the same configuration for these guys on the inside here. So both of them like that. That means no one's going to accidentally stumble their way into here, which at the end of the day is kind of what we're after. But that is the last of the updates that you are going to see on this, unless you check out my live stream, which again tends to be Friday evenings. So make sure you check the link in the description to make sure that you're following me over there so you can know when I go live for those events. But until then, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.